All right, thank you very much for having me. It's great to be here. So, my name is Rocco. I lead expansion for Amazon and also country manager of Germany, as you just heard. And I want to talk a little bit about how we drive and how we approach innovation. So, first of all, you might remember this slide or this. It's just a little bit more than 25 years ago, a couple more, when we had to go on the internet and we had this dial-up noise like this modem. And this is actually the very first Amazon website, which you see. A lot of things have changed since then. Back then, we didn't have any smartphones, rarely any online shopping, no Alexa, personal assistant, and a lot of things have changed, but as we call it at Amazon, it's still day one. So what does it mean? It's still day one. We want to keep the innovative spirit alive. We want to act like a startup, flexible and agile working. We have 16 leadership principles that guide us through the culture of innovation, and that drives us forward here in Poland, in the US, in Germany, and everywhere else in the world. And as you know, we don't just sell stuff. We have streaming, we have gaming, we offer a lot of contact points. A couple of them are here, and they are constantly increasing. So now, how do we actually come up with innovation? How do we drive innovation, simplification, and new ideas at Amazon? First of all, we do not have a CIO, like a Chief Innovation Officer. No, innovation is everyone's job. Everyone is responsible and has a task, basically, to invent on behalf of the customer in all parts of the organization. In our fulfillment center, distribution center, we have something for like smaller innovation, which we call a Kaizen or Gemba walk, and which we then roll out globally and make big. For big ideas, we have separate processes that start always from the customer. I'm going to talk a little bit about this. And then they go straight until we launch the new feature, the new service, or the new product. I'm going to talk about 3 of those processes today, which is working backwards, the 2 pizza teams, very interesting, and the one-way and two-way doors. Let's start with a working backwards approach. When somebody in our team, anybody, has a great idea, what we ask for them is basically write a hypothetical press release. It's dated in the future. It might start something like 1st of June 2025, Amazon today announced the launch of blah, 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 whatever it is. So, and we ask to really think in this press release, what is it that we're launching? Why should a customer care? Why should a customer love this product? And we ask our team to answer 5 simple questions. First of all, who is the customer? We can have many different customers, of course. It might be sellers, it might be partners, and it might be the end consumer. What is the benefit for the customer? What problem do I actually solve? How do I actually know what the customer wants? And of course, also a visualization of how does the customer experience look like. Don't really care about the financials yet. Don't really care about the technology. Really just focus on the customer. We discuss this then in our team, and you are only allowed to add to the idea if you make it better. And if we then think, yes, that's really cool, we look at it's really good, something we want to launch for the customer. Then we look at the financials, the technology, and then we think we want to launch this. We want to drive this forward. So what we do is we resource a 2-pizza team. 2-pizza is not 100% defined because there might be bigger and smaller ideas still, and it might be American pizzas, it might be European-style pizzas. But the main reason why we do this is to ensure that we have a team that thinks day in and day out about this innovation. And it's because as we think the best method to have a great idea having failed is basically if you make it someone's part-time job. By having a team dedicated for this idea, they communicate very effectively, quickly, they make fast, decentralized decisions, and they basically act, as I said before, like a startup and move fast. Moving fast is also important when we think about bias for action, but also we want to think about the long term. We have a way of approaching decision-making, which we call the one-way and the two-way door. Basically, the idea is a one-way door is if you do something and you walk through a door and you don't like what you see, it's not what you expected, you can just simply walk back and everything is back to normal. That's a two-way door. It's a little bit more complicated with a one-way door. You cannot easily go through it and then go back. So with those decisions, you need to be more careful. The thing is, though, that in life, in business, most of our decisions are reversible. They are actually two-way doors. So some larger companies, as they grow, they tend to make decisions basically trying to have 100% of the information. Have another consulting company coming in, another analysis, and so on. But if you have all the information, you're not actually being innovative, if you already know that it's working. So we are fine with making decisions with 60% of the information if it's a two-way door. If we fail, if we see, oh, it doesn't work, we adjust and go back and then keep on being innovative. One-way doors are a little bit more complicated. These are things we cannot easily dial back. For instance, like the launch of a new country or making prime delivery for free. Whatever we do, we also always focus on the customer. We, as we just heard, we have the mission to be Earth's most customer-obsessed, most customer-centric company. Companies can be everything. They can be technology-focused, product-focused, competitor-focused, and it might actually still work. It's a cool thing. Everybody can choose what they want. For us, it's just that we found for ourselves the thing that really works for us is truly customer-focused. And in this way, we want to always give the customer more convenient, more delivery, better delivery experience, selection, and price. Because we know customer will always cherish a cheaper price than a higher price. And that is true. That is true in Poland, where we are right now. This is true in Germany, in the US. And this is true when we launched, and when we opened Amazon. It's true 10 years ago. It's true now. And it's also going to be true, pretty sure, in 10 years from now. It's hardly to imagine that somebody in 10 years says, I love Amazon, I just wish they were a little bit more expensive. So in this case, this is why it's so easy for us to actually put all our energy behind making products cheaper for customers, wide selection, and great customer experience and convenience. We are also thinking long-term. It's really a thing that we not just focus on the next 1 or 2 quarters or even a year. It's totally fine if you plant the seed right now to see the trees growing in the next 5 or 7 or even longer years. Not focused on short-term profit. We did this with Marketplace, Prime, AWS, and one of the other things which we're doing right now, which is a long-term goal for us, is we want to become a net zero carbon footprint company by 2040, so 10 years earlier than the Paris Agreement. So we announced that, we pledged that already a couple of years ago. So we're working on it. We are investing in decarbonizing our fleet. We are our operations, packaging across the whole supply chain and all our business units, investing with many projects also in renewable energy. In this respect, I also want to mention that the role of policymaking to stimulate innovation here in CEE, also in total Europe, of course, and globally. Just today, in those days, the government leaders in charge of the digital agenda for the D9 plus countries, the digital frontrunners of the member states, are here meeting in Poznan to discuss what is the best policy, the optimal policy to support digital transition in Europe. And it's important. It's important because digital technology is crucial to ensure Europe's economic growth in the future. It's great for job creation, for resilience. Digital adoption Digital transformation needs policies and policy making guided by principles of innovation, as we just discussed, and openness and competition to serve the customer. And with this, thank you very much.